welcome to my YouTube channel where all things are nails. It's your girl Tay back with another video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, your post notification bell is on so that you are immediately notified when I post. Also make sure you like and leave a comment and let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. So today I'm going to be showing you all how I achieve my ombre look on my nail trainer hand. I'm going to be doing a full set. So normally the first thing I would do is cut my client's natural nails down to a desired length so that when I put the tips on, the nails aren't too long. Sometimes, like if the client wants their nails clipped, you could clip them. If they don't, then you could just file them and make them all even and then add the tips on. But what we're doing now is just cutting them down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove the shine from the natural nails, and then we're gonna add the tips on.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
So now that I've removed the natural shine from the nail, made sure the nails are short, and then I added the tips on, we're just going to go in and we're going to file to our desired length and shape, which I'm going to leave the nails long, and then I'm going to go ahead and shape them to coffin. Only because I didn't want to do really short nails for ombre, because I really struggle with short ombre nails. So I'm gonna make a video on short nails, trying to figure out some nice designs, but I wanted to do long so that I can get a feel of the ombre, because although I'm making a video for ombre, I really needed practice on ombre. So with that being said, we're gonna leave these nails long. We're gonna do a coffin shape on them. So here is where I decided to file the top of the nail, which is to make sure where the nail tip meets and the natural nail meets, there's not a bump. It's smooth and there's a nice transition, so that when we apply the acrylic, there is not a dip or a bump or a lump. And then we won't have to make it up with extra acrylic because that will be then wasting product. Okay, so right here, this is one of the reasons why I actually don't like my hand trainer, because every time I get into the groove of fouling or laying acrylic or anything, the tips tend to come off. So they are press on tips. You press them into the little socket parts of the finger, and then you're supposed to just like work. And when I first got it, I thought that when I used it, it wouldn't go anywhere, but every time I use it, the little nails come off, and it's so annoying. I hate it so much, but I kind of just work with what I got because I'm not gonna buy another one, and then it does the same thing. However, I have found some other ones that I could buy that people say that they don't come off, but I'm not gonna waste my money because I don't got time for that. So here I'm just going to go ahead and rub down the nails just to make sure that where the natural nail meets and the nail tip meets, that is a smooth transition. There's no type of dip. That's why I went over that nail there. And then we're going to get ready to prime and dehydrate. Dehydration is to make sure that all the oils and things are removed from the natural nail, which I technically didn't have to do that on here because it's a fake hand, but I still do it anyway. Make sure that the nail is prepped, and also apply primer, which allows the acrylic to adhere to the nail. So here I'm going to go in with the dehydrator. My dehydrator is from Mia Secret. I use this on my clients sometimes, and then other times I just don't. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my primer. This primer is not my Mia Secret, which I usually either use my Mia Secret or my Young Nails, but this one I just got this from a hair store, and because it's my nail hand, I was like, I could just use this because it's not like a real client, so I want to use like my good stuff on there. But I do have a Mia Secret primer in the white bottle that's up in the right hand corner is my Young Nails, and I love that one so much. Okay, so we're gonna get into laying this acrylic. The acrylic that I am using is glow in the dark powders that I actually made up myself, and I really like them because they actually do what needs to be done. They glow, and they are really extremely pretty colors, so I feel like I mixed them well. Whatever the case, I'm not sure if I'm going to post the video that I did when I made them because they were kind of in and out of the camera frame, but I may do them. Also, a disclaimer: I am not a professional. I am self-taught, YouTube taught, trying to figure this out, trying to figure out doing nails, like kind of on my own. So don't take this as a tutorial. It's not a tutorial. It is just a video of me showing you how I achieve the look of ombre and, you know, my journey of doing nails. So don't look at this as a tutorial because I'm sure that there are certain steps that I'm doing that other people don't do. I'm doing what works for me and how I am able to achieve the look that I'm going for certain nail styles. So yeah, this is me laying my acrylic. As you can see, I start in the middle, like where the nail tip and the actual natural nail meets. However, like that always isn't my routine. Like I don't always do that. I'm like trying to get a routine down packed so that I can practice the same steps over and over. But I try to see what works for me, and if it's a different brand or stuff like that, certain ways that I do my nails depends on the certain products that I'm using and all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna lay the color acrylics down first, and then I'm gonna go in with Young Nails Cover Beige, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that at the top. But like I said, for the most part, I'm going to lay the color acrylic down first. And this like red is like my favorite. It gave me fruit punch vibe. I love it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch me lay this acrylic, and then I'll be back. Right here, I'm going in just to make sure that the nails that need extra acrylic, they get the extra acrylic, because I don't want the nail too thin or too thick. So I'm going to go in and add acrylic on a few of the nails. I think I'm going to pretty much add more on all of the nails because they look kind of see-through and I want them to be very pigmented um, for the overlay. I mean the ombre. So I'm going to go in and just add a little color into all of them. Where it looks really light, I'm going to make sure that it looks even and not all like light in some places and darker in the others, which I don't think when I did the first nail the first time on the blue, I didn't make sure that the full nail was covered with an even amount of acrylic. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and go in and do. I am now going in with my Young Nails Cover Beige at the top of the nail to create the ombre look. This part is a little tough for me because I want to make the transition between the beige and the color acrylic really smooth. I don't want it to look too hard or like it is being like so much of force. So you're gonna see when I continue to go back and forth, you know, adding a little bit of beige, and also I'm going to go back and add a little more color acrylic as well because I don't want the nail to look too like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I just want the transition between the two colors to like blend smoothly, and at first it wasn't doing that, so I had to go back in and, you know, fix it to the way that I liked it. It's kind of hard to explain, but at the end you'll see, compared to when I first started applying the acrylic versus when I went in to like add the different color to blend it in smoothly. But you're going to see me go back and forth, and the reason that you do see me going back and forth is just because I want it to blend smoothly, because I see ombres, and even when I do ombres on my shorter nails, it's so hard for the transition, for you to see the transition, because it looks like it, I don't know, it just looks forced, and I didn't want it to look that way. So I went back and forth. I think that nail that I'm currently doing right now, that's going to end up being the one that looks the best, like right before I file and things like that. And I basically used that nail to guide me on how I wanted to do the other ones, because I wanted them to be really, really smooth. So after I did the red nail, you're gonna see me go back and forth to the blue nail to try to as get it as perfect to the red one as close as I can, which I'm gonna continue to keep like blending the acrylic between the beige and the blue. And sometimes it takes that, you need to continue to go back and forth with it until you know it looks the way you want it to look, because at the end of the day it's your craft and you want your work to look a certain way. So I just went back and forth with it until I felt that it looked good, and that's just what I had to do. And then after I finish with that, I'm going to move on to the yellow nail. So now that I've laid the acrylic the way that I want it, I like it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to encapsulate the ombres with clear acrylic so that when I'm filing, the transitions and things like that does not mess up. Also, so that once I start filing, that the nail does not become patchy looking, or it doesn't have like those white indentations from when I filed. This is just something that I like to do because I don't want the nail to, I want the nail to stay the way it is, like the way that the ombre is. I like it and I don't want it to mess up, so I make sure I encapsulate it so that when I'm filing on the clear acrylic and not on the color acrylic. So after encapsulating all of the nails, I'm going to go ahead and put some acetone into my acetone dish, and then I'm going to dip my brush inside of the acetone dish so that it could be cleaned. And then I'm going to put it in my monomer just so it could mute some of the monomer smell that's in the air. And then wipe off my brush, and I do that after every set. So I'm just showing you what the nails look like after I have laid the acrylic. I haven't filed. I haven't done anything to the nails except for encapsulate them, and this is what they look like. So now I'm going in with my 80 grit file to file my acrylic. This nail file is for artificial nails and acrylic. You are not supposed to use this nail file on the natural nail bed. I did use it on the nail file because of course it's a fake nail. And however, you aren't supposed to.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
So here I'm going in with my fine barrel drill bit, and I'm just going to go into smoothing the acrylic. Make sure that it is completely smooth. And then also sometimes you're going to see me go on the side of the nail, and I'm just going to go on the side of the nail just to make sure that if there's any little pieces of acrylic hanging off, that I kind of just like get it. And if I don't, I'm going to go back in with the nail file to make sure that everything is sharp and really shaped to the T. I do realize that as I was recording that I was outside of the frame of the camera, so I do apologize about that. So as I was saying, I went outside of the frame of the camera, but once I got to this point, I was struggling to get my grip right to file the nail. So yeah, I was like really outside of the frame, but I'm gonna fix it. I'm fixing it. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna fix it. So right now I'm just cleaning up the last little bit of these nails. Basically just going back in, redefining the shape of the nail just to make sure that it is the best shape that it could be. And then after, I'm going to go in and dust the nails off to make sure that they are all dusted off and they look exactly the way I want them to look. So now I'm just going to go in with some alcohol, spray on the nails just to cleanse them. Normally when you have a client, you'll send them in to wash their hands, but because this is a nail dog, we're just going to spray some alcohol on them. When I sprayed the alcohol on the nail, it left like this like white residue-ish look, so I'm kind of going to go in and like rub a little alcohol on it before I finish the last 3 nails, but I think I did it on this one as well. And then try to hurry up and polish the nails, not while it's wet, but to like it's dry, but not to the point where it leaves the white residue, so that when I put the gel on top, it doesn't show through there. And I do realize that I'm out of the frame when I'm putting the gel top coat on. This is just a regular D&D no cleanse gel top coat. You'll see the last 3 that I did, but the first 2 you won't be able to see. But I'm going to come in and show you what they look like after I am done. So after I have completed putting the top coat on the nails, I'm just going to go in and tap the sides of the nail just to make sure that the top gel coat has not rounded off the nails. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the LED light over the nails for 60 seconds. I don't like to put the hand inside of the light because the hand sometimes messes up, hits the sides and things like that. So I'd rather just pick it up and put it over the hand. So now that the nails are completed, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the final look. I would like to say thank you for subscribing to my channel, turning on y'all post notification bell so that y'all can see when I post my videos. Thank you for liking, commenting on my post. Make sure you leave a comment down below telling me how I did and what you'd like to see next. I really appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.